Hello everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful day today, but even if you are not, do not despair because it's about to get a whole lot better because the Awesomenauts Rumble Scrim Show is upon us. I'm Edster, I'm going to be one half of your casting team for today while we take you through just a couple of the scrims happening in the competitive scene right now. Joining me, I have the wonderful Scanner.
Hello everybody, how are you guys doing today? As Ed said, even if you're having a bad day, this is your chance to just get on the bright side and just ignore the rest and just have a good time while we have this great show prepared for all of you wonderful people watching us right now. Well, let's get right to it. As you guys know, this is the Scrim Show. The Scrim Show is where we basically grab the scrims and we show the hottest, most recent scrims and we just commentate them. It's basically a match of the day, but a competitive match of the day. So, as you probably know, you can find us on various social media platforms such as Discord. You can just chat with whoever you want. Twitter, YouTube, and Steam group. All those links will be in the description below on the Twitch channel, so you can check them out right there. But you may be wondering, the Scrim Show, these guys must be pros, but no, you can also be an Awesomenauts Pro gamer. To do so, you basically just have to submit the scrims to awesomenautsrumble@gmail.com. We'll go through them, filter them, and the best matches of the period that we are going to be analyzing will be picked and featured in the next shows that can come up in the future. If you don't have any scrims to submit, it's the right time to start looking for some scrims. You can find various players and teams looking for scrims in the Scrim portal. Links for all of this will be in the description below. So with that said, we're here for a reason and a reason only. That is the matches, the scrims for today. So let's just get right into it. The first draft of today.
Absolutely, the first draft, we're going to be looking at a game between 6 people, as every game of Awesomenauts is. We're going to have on one team, Uberanzi, Devmon, and Sam. Then on the other team, we're going to have Mimiroru, we're going to have Kyla, and we're going to have Mr. Pillow. So, just to take a look through the draft, the first wave of bands, we're looking at Swiggins, Frog, Scoop, and Durple Band. The first wave of picks, we're looking at a Sentry, a Leon, a Genji, and a Ted. Looking onto the second wave of bands, we're looking at a Nor and a Lux Band, and then finally, the last picks, are going to be a Vinny and a Xenia. So, summing it all up, we've got Sentry, Leon, and Vinny taking on Genji, Ted, and Xenia. Now, before we get into the commentary on how we think this game is going to go down, if you think you know who's going to win this game, then you can bet on it, essentially. You type in red or blue into the Twitch chat, and then the winner, well, whoever gets it right, a raffle will be picked, and one of those will be given a skin or a piece of Awesomenauts DLC. Yes. So, Scanner, these comps, man, what do you think?
Right off the bat, I see for the blue team here, there's like Sentry and Vinny can be very dangerous, especially with a charged black hole. Except for Ted, they're kind of squishy. Xenia can kind of get out of the black hole, but I see a lot of potential for Pillow's team here, if done right. But on the other side of things, we got Genji and Ksenia, which single-handedly can pretty much take down Leon or Vinny if they're caught off position, and Ted can pretty much control the lanes with the airstrike, stay on bottom lane, and just kind of control with the airstrike. So it's pretty much going to be, I feel it's going to be a long game. The comps are kind of balanced in my opinion. There's not too, it's not like the good picks are one side and the other one are not kind of, they're both balanced. They both have their the strengths and weaknesses. It's going to be a good game. I see a lot of potential. I really want to see great black holes pulling off from the Sentry here, and Vinny just dashing in, applying a lot of damage. I really want to see some really good insta-gib, if you can even call it that, from this team. And the other one, a good cocoon can be a nightmare for almost all the players from the blue team. So it's just a matter of who gets the skills right.
Yep, definitely. We're also seeing a lot of pickup potential on the red team. The Xenia is pretty terrifying, especially for someone like Sentry and Vinny to deal. Xenia can track them very, very easily, land a lot of damage, and potentially ruin their ability to stay in for team fights. But as well, you've got the displace from the Leon to an invis character on each team is going to mean ganks can happen anywhere at any time. But I think that is just about all we have to say for this. However, if you are still wanting to bet, you have until we actually go into the game before your bets will no longer be credited. So, Scanner, do you have any final words, or should we just get straight into it?
I just hope this is going to be a great game. I hope to see like maybe a comeback, just like something very good here to come out. That's pretty much it. There's not a lot to say. It's just like whoever plays better wins. This type of match that it's going to happen here. So,
yep,
ready when you are.
Yeah, that's normally how Awesomenauts works. The better team wins. So, let's find out who that team is. I will give us a countdown. We will go when I say go. 3, 2, 1, go. And the teams are off. Looking at the red team, we have Uberanzi playing the Ted. We have Devmon playing the Genji, and we have Sam playing the Xenia. Meanwhile, on the blue team, we have Mimi playing the Vinny. We have Kyler playing the Sentry, and we have Mr. Pillow playing the Leon. Teams approaching mid. Cocoon going to land in the Sentry, and it looks like the blue team are going to take early game control of this map.
Yeah, but the airstrike coming in, hitting the Kyler here a bit. His FHP, but Xenia's in the bad position. Leon manages to track it down, but no kill so far. Just a bit of poke damage, but control over to red side, but they're backing off a bit. Blue team just contesting the mid here, and they're gonna get it, and they seem to have been clearing the first wave of droids right now, but red team is on top. Black hole hitting Ksenia, but Ksenia can always almost get away. No kill so far. Again, Ksenia can really get out of the black holes and do some plays, especially with Virtual Girl. I see a lot of potential in dodging the black holes at the moment. Yeah, I don't really foresee many early game kills happening. If they do happen, it's probably going to be the result of the Xenia chasing down the Vinny or the Sentry. Even with like a full black hole initiate, it would take a black hole with some damage on a tongue and a Vinny dive to sync up on one target for it to be a kill realistically. So I think we might be waiting a little bit of time before we see any kills coming for the blue team. There's a Cocoon. Nice shotgun into the airstrike onto the Sentry, and now the Sentry's going to go back. Sentry does have the beacon on the bottom lane, so that's going to make it quite easy for Sentry to just pop back into lane as soon as needed. Blessing going to be popped as red team disengages. They got a little bit of push on that top lane, but it's nothing to write home about. Yeah, I kind of agree in terms that early game, not a lot of picks, because they have a lot of key items that they need to build before they're really at that key point. But good tongue here coming out from Mr. Pillow, almost getting Ksenia there, but Ksenia is just so mobile that she can just get out of the fight really easily with that double jump. It's really useful. The black hole again, barely missing Ksenia. Ksenia is really just getting out. Another fight coming in. Pillow is just going to use the invis to get out, but Kyler is in that situation, but he's going to get out, fortunately, leaving the beacon, going back to base. Same strategy, getting back in the fight faster always helps.
Oh, this could be a kill on Mr. Pillow. That's an airstrike and a shotgun going to land, following off of the Cocoon. Pillow's going to go down. Now the Black's hole is there, trying to follow up on the Ted. Vinny almost having dash ready, but he's going to go down to the Xenia and the brawling from the Ted. Now Sam just looking to zone, steal these creeps, control the jungle, and make sure Kyler's not in a position to defend this lane. It looks like we're going to be seeing a split push though. Ted pushing top lane and then rotating down. Kyler does have a bit of a black hole charged here, so she'll see if she can do anything. Not enough damage onto the Genji there. The beacon being cancelled by damage before it was able to be detonated. We're seeing a bank into double silence tongue on the Leon. Other builds we're looking at Wraithstone in a Virtual Girl on the Xenia. Very, very good in this map. Virtual Girl, great for getting out of black holes. And, you know, general burst from the Vinny. And, of course, Wraithstone on Rivet is absolutely insane. You can dive their jungle and suddenly gain all of your health back. It's a really, really effective tool. Sam just baiting out a lot of abilities there. Baited out the black hole and the dive. Televerse going to land on Devmon there, as the blue team seems to take the top of the map. Red team rotating into bottom. And, of course, Ted being on bottom lane is able to quite easily siege them out. Airstrike not going to come out. It is going to come out. It's going to hit two people there, but not before the Ted dies, as well as the Genji in that black hole. And that's just Xenia defending against all three members, but she is being ballsy there. She wasn't able to get the creep, but the Vinny dive is going to miss, and now Xenia is trying to get away, is going to get away, but not really in a position to defend this. Pillow! Oh, Pillow being very sneaky, finding the kill there. Sam not really paying attention to where the Leon might be and staying out at too little health. Sam is going to go down, and that's going to be a lot of push in this top lane.
It's going to be some residual damage, not enough to put it to half HP, but tower damage is permanent, so I mean, any bit really helps now. Ksenia almost got Kyler there when the fight happened, because it was really important if Ksenia managed to get Kyler, so it was just less push for them. So, but really, a bit of her extended Leon on the right position at the right timing, just result in killing Ksenia. Very sneaky play there. It's to see some footsie nods. Red team just doing the solo boss at the moment, just trying to stay back a bit until they can all go in. Leon just some ambitious stunts there just to apply some damage really, and Red team seems to be clearing the wave, but oh, great tongue here onto Sam. That's a dash. The silence literally probably just gave that kill. It was really important there, because then you couldn't really just dash out. And there we go, another dash on the perfect timing there, and that's the double kill for Vinny. And well, seems the push is gonna happen right now on bottom lane. Mr. Pillow cutting the rotations. That's really important.
Yeah, Uberanzi needs to be careful here. He needs to realise when and when he can't rotate. If he rotates and gets picked off, which is quite easy to happen to the Ted, then he could be in quite a bit of trouble. He's going to play it safe though. Airstrike going to land. It's going to hit 2 people on the top lane. Mimi now having to back off along with Mr. Pillow. Both of them going to teleport and buy some upgrades. In general, it's not going too well for the red team at the moment. They are 3 kills behind and it's only 5 minutes in. However, you know, their late game is looking pretty safe. They have an immense team fight capability with the Ted and the Genji late game. And of course, they've got the Xenia for any 1v1 brawls that ends up a bit sloppy. I think overall, the team fight's better on the blue team, but if the red team can kind of stagger it a little bit, use the Xenia to their advantage, then they're probably going to be a nice position to win this game.
Almost hitting the tongue there on Uberanzi. That could have been deadly, but Uberanzi just keeping his distance, perfect distance. Mr. Pillow going to try to help Kyler out. Sam is almost dead from that dash. Blue team needs to back off right now. Genji could just land some AAs and that would be it. Uberanzi kind of low. He cannot really push that tower. The droids need to do them by himself, but a great... What a black hole! That was incredible. Did not see that coming. The movement speed is so good on Sentry. Literally just gave him a kill. Very good.
Good knowledge from the Vinny as well. Coming forward with their teammate, just goes in for the kill, sinks up the damage, and that is exactly how you want to be playing with a Sentry and a Vinny on the same team. Moving on, we're looking at Starstorm and grenades being picked up by the Ted. Double Starstorm, only 1 stage of grenades right now, so those grenades are going to do about, 120 damage, which is respectable at this stage of the game, definitely. We're looking at damage going to Kyler from the Xenia there, but the Leon is going to be able to body block and silence the Xenia, so she can't throw any scissors anymore. Xenia looking for the sentry kill, couldn't quite get it, and now Xenia is in trouble from the Leon. He's going to land a tongue, looking for those last AAs, not quite able to get it. Sam getting away with about 40 HP there. And now we're looking at the red team maybe getting some push if the Xenia can get back in time. But they need to be careful. There's a lot of insta-gib potential. The tongue's just been used, so same with the dash. Now the hole's been used. This actually could be a fight for the red team if they go for it. But they're going to whiff the airstrike, and that's kind of the sign that they don't really have the teamfight tools they need. Like, the red team's fight is so pivotal on this airstrike. Whereas the blue teams, there's a lot riding on the black hole, but they can at least find very, very easy pickoffs just using the... Oh, that's a great kill. Grenade and the Tedris landing to secure the final amount of damage. Nice bit of Ted play there. But yeah, as we were saying, the blue team has really good ganking potential with the Leon and the Vinny, even if the black hole misses.
Yeah, exactly. Even if the black hole misses, a tongue and dash can just get with the silence on Ksenia. Really, really good. And there we go. See, tongue, dash, Ted is like below half. He really needs to get back. And even though they're ranged characters, they can just kind of poke the tower with a bit of safe distance, like right now in top lane. They're going to take that tower almost, barely, and now Leon is on the hunt, trying to get Devmon there, but it's not really quite enough. They just need a bit of damage, but he's going to go back. Everybody's going to go back. Sam trying to look for a kill, almost killing Kyler there. Not quite enough. Again, the damage is not really paying off, but I feel like if blue team overextends, red team really needs to just punish them, because they have a lot of residual damage. Even if they use the skills, they can just... Oh, Uberanzi really low. He's just going to use the airstrike, but the photo mines is going to be a kill for Kyler here. Just the photo mines just staying there for that period of time. Literally just a bit of luck maybe, but who knows? Maybe it was planned. I don't know. But there we go. That was pretty interesting to see.
Oh, Teleburst being used there, not going to land, but the tongue and the AAs is going to be more than enough to get Devmon. The dive actually finishing that. And now again, we're in a situation where it's just the Xenia defending. One thing Xenia can do though, actually, is backdoor creeps quite effectively and just take attention away. We're going to see Sam do that now. Maybe get a bit of damage onto the Vinny, but just kind of taking resources, and because there's no way the Xenia can defend like directly. You've got to be sneaky. You've got to take things away from the enemy where they are not when you're a Xenia like that. We're looking at BKM being picked up by the Ted and the Genji. Very, very nice for getting out of the black hole. And I guess the Silence Tongue as well. It's quite pivotal they're able to get the blessing and the airstrike off in time. So just making sure that silence lasts that little bit less time, making sure they can get it out just that bit earlier is going to maybe help them in the fights. We're seeing a Cocoon onto the Vinny. The Vinny very low is going to get brawled down by the Xenia and the Ted. The Ted picking up the last hit with the shotgun. Now Mr. Pillar very low brawling the Genji. He's just about going to get away, but now we're going to be seeing the top tower going down. Kyler's going to leave, and that's definitely top tower gone. As now we're looking at the Ted clearing bottom. And it looks like the red team are going to look for a push bomb, but I don't think they'll be ready in time. The Leon and the Sentry are back in lane now, and they're ready to defend. Sam getting a bit of poke damage onto the Sentry, but nothing major. Yeah, just going back into a bit of footsie notes, really.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's talk a bit about builds. I see something very interesting here. Never mind, Black Hole, the silence coming in from Sam, but not going to be enough to kill him. They're going to be brawling, and now they have the residual damage. They could get some kills. There we go, Leon going down for Uberenzi. And now they can really hunt. With that tower down, they can start to get some control on top lane. And oh, Black Hole, careful Sam, if you step on that, yeah, it can be a bit dangerous for you, but there we go. Ted, just massive damage to the droids, just going to be pushing that tower. He can just stay safe from Sentry, but Kyler getting a bit aggressive. He's going to get airstrike, but nothing really coming out. Okay, so builds right now. I see BKM being picked by Ted and Genji. I think it kind of makes sense because of Leon and the Black Hole, but you think it's really worth it? Because that means they cannot piggy, really. So, you think it's worth it? What do you think?
It does, but I mean, this game, as you mentioned at the beginning, this game probably is going to go into the late game, and the probability of them needing a piggy bank is kind of low. I mean, they're farming quite well, and yeah, things in general, they're going okay for the red team. They were 3 kills behind relatively early on. They're still 3 kills behind now, but they're keeping up on farm. They're doing all right. They're not really being pressured enough to justify piggy bank, and their late game is so strong if they can get all 3 utilities. Ted with the Ted that has access to pills along with Starstorm, he becomes terrifying in fights late game. So I think I don't think the red team are too nervous about piggy banking, or about not piggy banking rather.
Yeah, I guess you're right because the late game and stuff. Well, here we go. Okay, so great tongue there coming in. Uberenzi is just gonna barely leave alive. Okay, that was kind of suppressed. I was gonna talk about like some other items, but that just really fast just happened out of nowhere.
That was a very clutch blessing actually from the Genji. Just about saved the Ted.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that before, but we were talking about the VKM and stuff. Genji's Monarch Blessing saved Ksenia from dash and dunk, literally, on a fight that happened. Saved Sam pretty hard, really. But there we go. Solo boss being killed here by Ted. Yeah, just some... Really, they're kind of initiating, but not really committing too hard to fights. Do you think they should commit more, especially for the red team? Okay, there we go. Sam, just great usage as the virtual girl, but yeah, they're gonna force blue team back. Again, I was asking. They seem not to be committing a lot. They seem to be dealing some residual damage. Ted, Ksenia, they're not really committing. You know, like those ganks into one node. Do you feel like that could be the key for them to start really getting more pressure and lane pressure presence on for the red team?
I don't think it really is necessary. At the moment they're having the right idea. They're building the spiritual cooking on the Genji. They're tanking up, and if they can survive these initiates, you know, even if they can survive a clean initiate, that's amazing. But even if they can survive like a half initiate and still be in a position to fight, they're going to be in a really good position to keep going. Sam rolling out of the black hole, managing to finish off Kyler there. That was a nice Xenia play. Cloud being dropped. That is a weakened Cloud, so it's going to reduce the damage of everyone who's in that. Oh, and that's an amazing... Wow! That is impressive. That was an airstrike, scissors, and the grenade finishing off. That's going to be essentially a wipeout. So the sentry's nowhere near, and this top tower is going to go down, and maybe even seeing some base damage here.
Sentry doesn't even have a beacon around, so just needs to walk. So that's going to get just grant more time for the red team to just clear those droids, and even apply some damage here to the bottom tower, because they have droids coming in from base, and Sentry really needs to focus on that, I guess. Oh, okay. Lucky Sentry, because they didn't really jump. Vinny and Leon, they're also back, so no worries for base at the moment. Red team just gonna go spend. They have a lost solar 700 on Ted. They really need to spend, and right now this is really looking good for red team. With the new upgrades that they're buying, I think the next fight could result in game for the red team, really.
Quite possibly, yeah. Well, yeah, with the base exposure, if there's a one fight, it's definitely going to be game, pretty much. The blue team's okay at defending, but The sentry can defend at a tower, but defending a base's sentry is not easy because it's only the AAs you need to worry about. There's no tower damage to help you there, and the red team would be more than happy to just sit there with the blessing and just realize that that they just can't be killed. Pretty big fight happening top here. Sam getting quite extended. Is going to get caught in the black hole after using roll. Going to be brought to about half HP. The Vinny's now going to dive in. There's the airstrike. Not going to hit anyone. Here comes the tongue. Ted very, very low. He's going to go down to Teleburst from Kyler. Good awareness there. And now the Leon is going to be chasing down the Genji. It's all about how quickly this cocoon comes on. The Genji's still trying to run away. There's the black hole. And now a dive onto two people. Sam's now very low. Trying to get away. Doesn't get the Wraithstone hit. And that's going to be a wipeout for the blue team this time.
They have the waves really pushed out. They can do some damage. Probably take that top tower. Yeah, top tower will definitely go down. But they won't be able to take those next towers. The waves for the red team were really pushed far back. So far up, I mean. So max they can do... See, Ted's already back. Max they can do is just clear that extra wave, and that's really it. Because the rest of the red team is just going to be back, and Ted's already there. They're not even going to commit for those droids. Just going to go back, chill. Because, I mean, if they die, two of them die, that could be game. They really need to play really, really careful. They cannot make... They can't really have exceptions for mistakes at all.
I'm liking the build on the Sentry this game. Going for the mustache damage. It's kind of praised as a really bad item, but it's not too bad if you're playing an initiation comp where, you're not realistically going to be charging up a heal shell every time. But speaking of heal shell, that is going to be one, but the Sentry is going to go down. Nowhere near enough damage to deal with the Ted. Now the Ted very low is going to go down to the Leon Tongue. Following the Vinny dash. That is actually Invis Cloud on the Vinny, so we might be seeing some plays involving that.
Oh, I would love to see some like Invis Cloud into all of them, Black Hole, just really just going for it. Sam really needs to run right now. Leon's AA can be very dangerous, and I mean Ksenia's as well, but if they fight, Leon's gonna win with that HP, so really need to be careful, and he did. He ran away successfully. Now they're going to be doing solo boss. They really need the XP advantage. Really, in this game, the XP is right the same, but any bit of damage helps, especially against that Monarch Blessing, which can really save lives, and it did. Twice, at least, that I counted this game, so that's something to keep an eye for.
Pillar just going to throw a bit of poke into the Genji, but nothing substantial. And now Pillar being chased down by the Xenia. A lot of damage there. Airstrike's going to hit on the Sentry. The Sentry has a black hole, but has been cocooned. And now we're going to see the Sentry's going to get some health, maybe do something with this. But it looks like Pillow's going to the shop to spend when he really should be fighting with his team here. The Sentry not in a good spot here, being completely zoned out by the Xenia. That's going to be a dead Sentry. You cannot leave your Sentry alone when there's a Xenia nearby. I feel like that was a pretty big mistake from the blue team there. Just basically giving the Xenia a completely free kill.
Yeah, I feel like Kyle shouldn't have overextended that much because he knew their mates were on base. And now Mimi just getting really low, dashing out. They can do something. If Mr. Bill manages to chase and pick off someone, Sam is kind of low. But that damage to the base, really huge. Mimi's kind of back, but Pillow doesn't have a lot of HP to do anything. Kyler is back. They can do something, but the black hole completely wasted there. Pillow's gonna go for the hunt. It's gonna displace Ted, but not really anything following up that. They're gonna manage to scare red team away, but that base damage is permanent. They really needed to avoid that. That Sentry overextended really cost them that. They really need to be careful, and this bottom tower may be going down if they don't move fast to defend it.
Definitely. We're looking at the well, in general, I think the builds from the blue team have been just about right. I'm liking the Sentry now building into the attack speed on the beacon, even though it seems a bit strange. What they have is burst, what they don't have is kind of follow-up sustained damage, so going for that extra attack speed is going to give them a bit of that. Pillar looking for something, but is way too low. In fact, the entire blue team, other than the Sentry, is just too low to really be here. Sentry going to charge up a bit of a black hole, going to use it, it's going to hit two people, but nothing major coming of it. The Ted's about half HP, but with his entire team around, there's no way he's going to die anytime soon.
Yeah, that's true, but if they are I feel like every knot, if caught alone, will die here. We saw, like, Sentry with the black hole, right? If you don't have black hole as Sentry, you really shouldn't leave tower without your mates. And now we go.
Oh, Sam
just getting silenced. There we go. Great dash coming in from Mimi. Now, red team, they kind of need to run. I mean, it's to a point where AAs from the blue team kind of hurt you quite a lot. So Mr. Pillow is kind of on the hunt, but they are just full. He's not going to be able to do anything unless Vinny comes with him. And Vinny is coming with him. They're cancelling the teleport, but nothing really. No commitment here from Mimi. They're just going to be clearing those droids and, well, taking some control back from the map. I guess that's at the least they could do now that they got a kill on Sam.
Some pretty big items here. We're seeing Slow Cocoon on the Genji. That's going to make this Vinny almost impossible. You can't really get away from that now. The 40% slow is just insane. Teleburst and Tongue going to land on the Ted, but he's just still too much HP, really. Black Hole now, it's going to miss, and now the Ted brawling his ass off, trying to get something here. The Tongue's there. The S-Strike's going to land on the Sentry. The Ted is actually going to go down. Now the Xenia looking for something here. It's a lot of damage. It's going to land. And now, the Tongue almost enough to get the Xenia, but the Xenia was able to get the Sentry. And now we might be seeing, if not a GG push, we're at least going to see this bottom tower go down. Although Leon is going to contest this. We might see if there's a kill here. No, it doesn't look like it.
No, but that tower is definitely going to go down, as Ksenia is kind of busy on top lane. Devmon really needs to pay attention. He's going to go down. The Tongue was off cooldown, and that's enough to kill a Genji. No Monarch Blessing to help you now. So, yeah, and the kill is going to make Sam and Ted not go for the base, because that could be really dangerous if they did that. Doing the solo boss, and red team, they're almost reaching a level of difference here. If they manage to fight when that level reaches 15 and they win the fight, that's literally GG. If they manage to get a double kill. And Pillow is kind of in a bad spot, but the Black Hole, just to cover his ass, is gonna go away now, because he doesn't have a lot of HP. He doesn't even have Weirstone, I feel. Yeah, he doesn't have Weirstone, so he really cannot just get 2 creeps and be back to full HP. And yeah, again, they're just really respecting each other. Both teams respecting just getting a bit of space, I guess, to chill out, just plan, take a deep breath, and prepare for the next fight. Next fight is going to be really important, and both these teams know that.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, we're seeing there's an initiate onto the Ted. The Ted is just about going to live, though. Then again, the Black Hole's there. It is going to land and kill the Ted, but so that's going to be a 1-for-1 for now, but it looks like the Sentry's been chased down. There's a Cocoon landing, the Sentry's going up. He's very low HP. A couple of AAs from anyone is enough to kill the Sentry. The Sentry is now going to go down, and now it's just the Vinny alive. The Xenia chasing. Landing a few scissors, not all of them though. The Vinny might just be able to live here. There is a 50 health pack there, but no, that's going to be enough burst from the Xenia. Third AA with the Frog Afro plus a Bobcat Scissor is more than enough to burst down. And that's going to be a slow wipe and probably the game. I mean, the Leon's back, but the DPS from the Xenia and the Genji is probably enough to take this.
It's definitely game. Sam can hit Leon from the tower, so yeah, that's game.
That is going to be GG. So Sam, Uberanzi, and Devmon, they're going to win that game. Well, I think a lot of that came down to we saw the blue team very, very dominant in the early game. They were finding those pickoffs, and they were kind of consistently 3 or 4 kills ahead for all the time. But then once the blessing started kicking in, once it started getting a lot harder to find those ganks, or successfully execute the ganks, really, we saw at the end in that last fight, the Ted took a full initiate. So that was a full Tongue with max damage, throw on a Vinny dive, a few AAs, and he was just about alive just because the blessing popped and he was able to get out. Throw on cooking and pills, it's quite difficult to kill characters which are normally quite squishy. Once they were able to survive that, the follow-up from the Xenia and the Ted was just too much to handle, really.
Yeah, I feel like blue team really managed to get a lot of ganks going on early game, but they kind of stopped doing that. They really owned early game, I feel. There was just some kills in return that red team managed to have, but the Sentry was pretty much hitting all the Black Holes. Vinny and Leon really coordinated, landing those Tongues and the dashes, really hitting, really on spot. Then they just kind of got a bit, I don't know, they stopped doing that. Maybe because it was just hard because of Ksenia's damage was just huge. They couldn't really commit, and yeah, they just red team slowly start to get their game, and slowly they got the towers, they got the kills, and after that, it's just a matter of time till they get the base.
Well, I think that is just about as done for this first game, unless you have anything else to add, Scanner?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It was just a good game for both parties, but they just brawled better, red team, so they win. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Well, we are now going to take a quick break while we set up the next game. So we will be back shortly. Make sure you don't go anywhere.
Be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We are here once again for the second match of today. With me joining again is the one and only Edster.
Aha,
Are you
I'm
ready,
here.
my friend? Oh, you're here.
I'm here. I am
Hi.
indeed ready. We saw a fun match last time, and we've got another match ready for the rest of the day. But before we get into that, there's a couple of things we want to go through first. So, one of the things that the Awesomenauts Rumble did, we ran a feedback poll, more of a form really, where a lot of people entered in. They gave us some really, really useful feedback actually, and a lot of that feedback is going into what we are currently working on and what was coming up in the future. But tagged onto that poll was there was going to be one person was going to be drafted for some, was it Steam keys or was it DLC for Noughts, or it was some kind of prize, and I'm happy to announce the winner of that feedback poll was Campione. So yes, congratulations to them. But if you didn't take part in that poll, and you have some amazing feedback you want to give anyway, then the Nightbot has just left a link there. You can type !feedback in the chat, get a link to that poll, and then any feedback you give us would be really, really greatly appreciated because it helps us make these events even better. Moving on, if you didn't get a chance to win on that prize, you can actually win another prize in this next thing, which is going to be trivia time. So we have an amazing question, really. The first person to answer this question correctly will win a Noughts DLC. So, if everyone's ready for the question, Skinner, are you ready for the question?
I am ready, and I want to see the question that we have.
Right, this is going to be this is a very
tricky
important
one.
question.
Yeah.
You need to be paying attention to what's happening in Noughts if you want to get this correctly. So the question: how many lunges does Deadlift do during his deadly workout? To repeat, how many lunges does Deadlift do during his daily workout? You can also see the question on the screen right now if our wonderful stream manager is awake.
He is awake.
So
This is a tricky question. No, I'm
it
not
is
gonna lie.
indeed a tricky question. I mean, you'd have to have been paying attention to a lot of the deadlift stuff. There's a lot of sources of information
Oh,
you can
yeah.
do. Body Hunter with the first answer, it is not 69. I can confirm it is not 69.
It is not. You failed. Do the viewers have more than one attempt? Can they just spam numbers? How does that work?
I mean, they could, but it would probably be more efficient for them to find the actual answer.
Oh yeah.
And then, because the answer is available if you look hard enough. So.
Oh yeah. It is open. It's not in deep web. If you guys like, it's right on a very known website. I mean, it is a website, right?
Oh, Roach Cake with the correct answer. The answer, of course, being 80. Because according to Deadlift's theme song, after his daily 100 crunches, he throws out 200 punches. He finishes up with 80 lunges, and makes sense considering he's the baddest of the bunches. Congratulations to Roach Cake for the successful answer there. You're going to be winning yourself some Noughts DLC. Congratulations, my good man.
That's a lot of lunches. 80.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, most of his muscles is on the arms. 200 punches.
yeah.
That's
Yeah. Oh yeah. 200. Man, that's
a lot of punches.
I managed to do 4 or 5, and that's it. Anyway, I guess we can just go into the draft right now.
Yep.
Just congratulations again. Let's just get into it. I don't know. Do you want to go over it? Do you want me to go over it?
Oh yeah, I'll let you take this one. You can take this.
Thanks, man. Thanks a lot to go. Okay, so, okay, I am gonna need. Okay, I have the wrong drafts here. Yeah, I have the wrong
take
draft.
it through whilst,
Okay, go.
whilst you find it.
I
Okay,
had the chance, but I screw it.
You messed it up, Skinner. This is your one chance. Moving on, this game is going to be played between Body Hunter, Japi Patatzaki, and Nikki against Slevens, Jas123C, and Jelly. Looking at the bans, we're going to be looking at Xenia, Froggy, and Sentry being banned out by Nikki's team. On Jelly's team, we're looking at a Leon, a Lux, and a Coco ban. Looking at the picks, we're looking at Scoop, Swiggins, and Scree against Penny, Nor, and Genji. So, since you've now inevitably found a draft scanner, what do you think of these picks?
I have found the draft, yes. Okay, at first glance I see Penny and Noah. They're really strong, even single-handedly. And, I mean, even against Scoop, which is alright, right? He's not as strong as he used to be 2 or 3 patches ago. But I see a lot of, like, potentially in pickoffs, right? Penny can just go in, grab some charges, just go after some people just running low HP after a major fight. And that can be possible with the help of Blessing. She just can hold up some damage, and even if she's kind of low, she will have low cooldowns, just get some charges from creeps or droids, and just can really pull something very sick off. And that's always what I want to see in these matches.
Let me just interrupt you there. One thing we forgot to mention: if you think you know who's going to win this match, be sure to say in the chat if you answer correctly. By answering red or blue, you will make yourself eligible for a giveaway at the end of the match. The entries to that ends as soon as we get into the actual gameplay. So you have, whilst we're still talking about this draft, to get to place your bets and predictions.
Yeah, we almost forgot that. Thanks for interrupting me there. So, resuming. Okay, so for blue team, I see a lot of like potential around the Swiggins. If Nikki manages to land the Saw Burst and Valiente goes in with Scoop, I mean, he's a Scoop main, so he should probably be able to do something, hopefully, of all the people, I guess. So, I think the gameplay around blue team is going to focus around Swiggins, just waiting for his initiation and going in after him. But, hey, we can see something crazy going on as well, like maybe a good totem from Nikki, just trap them on Aguilon, on those jump pads. I would love to see that. If I see that, I don't know, I'll just make a bet with someone. I mean, I want to see that. That would be really cool to see. And of all the people, Nikki probably has the capability to do it. So, again, it's going to be a very, like, I don't feel anybody got out-drafted here. It's just a matter of, like, who managed to play their notes better, just like the previous game ends.
Yeah, I think we're looking at a team with a lot of brawl versus a team with a lot of burst. And last time the team with the burst kind of ran out of momentum when the Genji shield came on, and the team with the brawl kind of snowballed past it. But we'll see if that happens again, because, you know, we're looking at different players, we're looking at slightly different characters. You know, Scoop and Swiggins with a Scree, that's a lot of burst this time. And the Leon and the Vinny kind of, it was a lot of burst, but it kind of ran out a bit. The Scoop and the Swiggins damage just keeps on coming. So we will have to see who gets into that. I think we should just go straight into the game if you're ready, Scanner.
I am ready. 12-second mark, and we're ready to go.
Yep. We will go when I say go. 3, 2, 1, go. And looking at the red team, we have Jelly playing your Genji, we have Jas playing your Penny, and we have Slevens playing the Nor. Meanwhile, on the blue team, we have Jappy Panatzaki playing your Swiggins, we have the Scoop being played by Bonhina, as you mentioned, and Nikki playing the Scree. Items bought by everyone, we're looking at devil abilities across the board, apart from the Scree, who's opted for slow AA and no totem to start with.
Slow AA, that is really interesting. I feel like that could be to spot any of his enemies, but again, the AA kind of does that single-handedly, but the slow still is really good if they want to chase someone down. Like, if they want to just, like, they're really low, the slow is just going to help to deal a couple more AAs before they reach safe zone. So I guess that really helps out in the post-team fights, I guess you can call it that. Yeah. So right now I see some footsie nods. The weeds are just going to get some mid-control, but really, one weed is not going to do that much. They're going to have mid-control here. And that Scree can just get the droids, but see, they're saving. Nikki's saving the Saw for the actual fight. Very interesting.
Yeah, well, I mean, you should save it. I mean, you've got decent enough clear. I mean, if the Scoop throws in a hammer, it's decent enough. But, you know, realistically in comp, you wanna save your abilities for the fights. And especially if you're pushing up to their tier 1 like that, you kind of know a fight's reasonably likely to happen. Big team fight happening there. There's the bindings. All abilities being used, really. And are the Scree going to look for some kind of chase down? But it looks like the red team came out slightly on top there. The Nor and the Scoop getting away low HP, but the red team, they're definitely taking the map control right now. But this does mean they're quite vulnerable to being initiated on if they leave themselves too exposed. As the hammer going to miss. Looks like it hit the Penny there, but nope, it did not. Just a little bit too early. The Genji's still hidden, actually. Not been spotted by the blue team. Hiding up there, but the Nor is gonna go down. I have no idea what the Genji is doing. I'm confused. Is the Genji AFK? I think the Genji is AFK. Or this is just the most elaborate bait in the history of ever.
I hope it's AFK, because if it's an actual bait, not clearing the droids. Okay, he's teleporting. Okay, what's happening?
Oh,
Alright, I'm
okay,
very
he's
confused.
back.
Oh, he's back. Hello, welcome back, Jelly. Okay, so... Well, okay, Invis coming up. Let's see, Jappy's gonna grab it. And even though he doesn't have the hook on his hand, he can still grab it without breaking the Invis. So, in case you didn't know that, that can happen. So, there we go. Bounty Hunter just clearing. They're gonna stay behind tower, red team. Look, they're all there. Just waiting for the droids to come, and then they'll do something. There we go. Spit hitting Jappy. Invis is gonna break out. And Bounty Hunter, cocooned. Does he have bindings? I think he has bindings. He's just gonna run away. Red team is not gonna commit.
He already used them in that fight, so
yeah.
It was interesting. The scoop kind of got exposed. Oh, the scoop very, very low, but he's just about going to get away before the DOT kills him. And now the Swiggins is on the run. Again, the kind of chase potential I was talking about is actually somewhat limited by the red team. They don't have Rabbit Teeth on Null, they don't have Boots on Penny, and if the Penny runs out of charges and doesn't have Pounce available, they're not really able to get kills past that initial brawl with or burst of the abilities used. Sunball's on the screen, that's going to do a terrifying amount of damage if they stack up. The Swiggins is very low, the Swiggins has got to go down here. Yep, the Swiggins is going to go down. The Penny is very low, same with the Genji. But it's going to be a 1-for-0, tying the kills up 1-to-1 for the red team there.
Yeah, again we see a lot of kind of mid-control. We see like in the minimap, we see a lot of Weedlings in the area. If they fight there, that tiny bit of damage can mean a kill if they're lucky enough, I guess. If the damage is just right, the Weedling can be the key to get some kills. Some tiny details that sometimes they actually matter, but again, they're really respecting each other, I feel. Great hammer coming in. With Slevin is just gonna run, but the Hanker, the pounce just at the right timing, so he can pounce and get out. Really well played from Jazz 123. See, just managing to live for another day. And
yeah, that was staggeringly close, really. Yeah, almost 2 kills for the blue team there.
1 AA could have done it, really.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I feel like they're respecting each other for the most part. They're not committing too hard. They're not going to jungle, you know, something we would see from like sometimes very aggressive.
The Nor in a lot of trouble here. The Nor's going to go down to the end damage on the anchor, and now a totem. Here comes the sword. Now the chase down from this slow AA. The Scree going to get a lot of damage here, but now the Scree maybe going to go down to the Penny. No, the Penny's not going to go in with the Swiggins there. Hammer's going to land on the scoop. Now the scoop getting very low. Binding's now used. The red team just looking for something, but they can't quite find it. Now they're going to be forced to clear. Low HP, not really able to defend that effectively.
Well, that's true, but they're going to be pushing blue team. They have the Scree and Swiggins have the range AA, which is so important when you want to push towers. When you have stuff like Genji that can just cocoon you in front of the tower and the droids are running out. Really dangerous stuff. And with that range AA, that danger is just going to disappear pretty much, and the totem just gonna help a lot to push a bit if used correctly, and there we go. But again, the totems can really be used in fights, especially on bottom lane. If they manage to chase them down there, a nice placed totem can result in pretty much a dead end for the red team. And if that happens, or either they break it, would need to go around. Any kind of manages, because she has that big, very big jump and can go through the middle lane of the bottom lane.
Oh, this could be a gank here. The Penny Invis. There's the anchor being used. Here comes the bindings. The blue team very, very low now. The red team's still got enough health to chase here. The Swiggin's very low. Now the Scoop going to chase the Genji, who's trying to do some AAs there. The red team, they spread their damage out way too thin there. They did a lot of damage, but they just didn't quite find enough to get a kill on anyone. And they poked a lot of it at the Scoop, and the Scoop has access to heal hammer, bindings heal, you know. It's going to be very hard to kill the Scoop. The Penny going to chase down the Scree. That was nicely tracked by Jess123C, who's now going to be brawling into the blue team jungle. He was saying they were kind of respecting each other, but when they have the advantage, they're pressing it right there.
Oh, yeah,
nice play from the red team.
Yeah, it makes sense that they really need to pressurize. If they get a kill, they really need to pressurize, put some pressure on the enemy jungle, force them back, say, hey, don't mess with us, don't try to go 2v3 here, you're going to die, you know? So there we go, we see Hinviz getting picked by Jelly, Unchained. Nice name of that. He's gonna be trying to go for something. He's waiting in tower for some reason with the Hinviz. He's probably waiting for Gnoll. Yeah, exactly. Now he's coming back. Blue team just putting the salt on the bottom lane, and they're gonna be pushing the top lane. And Jelly, let's see if something happens here. Cocoon, nope, that's the tower. He's gonna use the Invis to just clear those droids. And there we go. Red team kind of making them go back. I think it's just doing those sunballs. They just do so much damage. That's really a good item, especially if they're stacked together, which usually they are in competitive games, they're always together. Sunballs is so good. I remember when Scree was kind of very strong, when there was a patch to buff him. It was just very strong. Alright, see Swiggins getting caught off alone. Noah's gonna try to chase, but Body Hunter's there to cover his back. Salt as well. That's not gonna result in any kills. 2 kills for both parties here. This is getting a bit slower comparing to the other game that we had.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's no real incentive to commit to kills too much. I mean, they have enough clear, and living is much more important. Penny looking for a kill on the Swiggins there. Not quite able to get it. The Swiggins just about getting away. He does have double regen, which is going to help him survive against the DOT ticks there. Nicky quite low, a bit afraid of the Penny, you'd assume, but not afraid enough. He's going to get his own sheep, and now he's more than healthy enough to defend this top lane. In terms of the builds, we're seeing AoE on the Swiggins hook now. We're seeing range hammer. We might be seeing a gank here. The Scoop going to go in looking for something, but nope, the hook not going to hit. Nice rebound hammer actually landing on Slevins, taking him to about half HP. So yeah, at the moment it's still kind of footsie nuts. It's very slow gameplay at the moment, but I imagine we'll be seeing a bit more once we see some more damage coming out on the Swiggins of the Scoop. Here comes a big fight though. That's the Scoop going to go down. Massive damage onto the red team, but the blue team is much lower. They're trying to get away. Nicky now zoning with those AAs. One AA doing, you know, a decent amount of damage because it changed to the two of them 3 or 4 times. It's a lot of damage when you think about it.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage, especially when clearing droids. If there's 2 droids or 3, the damage is huge. It's basically tears, if you can even call it that. So Scoop kind of needs, I think, he went for range hammer first. I think Penguin Throne would have saved him in that fight that he died. If he had Penguin Throne, he wouldn't have died because he was just halfway doing the bindings, just quite not enough to save him there. But yeah, that was pretty close. And now again, a kill advantage for the red team, but it's not really gonna matter too much. They're just gonna be able to push, clear the waves, just keeping their distance because of the range AA and stuff.
The Genji not in a good spot. He's going to cocoon the anchor to try and get himself out. Not really enough. Now the Genji, the Nora and the Penny going to be chasing down, but there the AA changes from Nicky. And Nicky only just getting away before the DOT kills him. Wow, so this is now swinging reasonably in favor of the blue team. Here comes the Pulse. The Pulse is going to whiff out but so is the anchor. Pound's going to do a lot of damage to these Swiggins. God, I hate calling out Penny's abilities. They sound the same.
Yeah, they do.
We're seeing double AA damage on the screen now. That's going to give the Scree just a lot of this kind of chase down. That post-burst fight from the Scree going to be absolutely insane now. Especially with the Sunballs and the slow. It's going to make it so effective for the blue team to just kind of snowball into a ball of death, really. And I expect to see that happen quite a lot with the red team trying to go in. They don't quite get the clean initiate they need. And then the blue team counter initiate and the Scree chases them down. I think that's how a lot of these fights are going to go. Because it's how the blue team can afford to do it. They don't really need to look for those insta-give fights. Whereas the red team, they're more or less forced to. Because if they don't, the Scree is just going to have an absolute free time of getting so much damage in.
Yeah, that's true. Now again, the kills don't really matter a lot. If they have 10 kills advantage, it's alright, right? But okay, so we see some bannings there. Almost killing Slevins now. He's going to get back and get some creeps and get back into the fight. Just to clear that pressure. I feel like blue team's pressuring a lot. I think you're trying to do the totem, but you gotta put it in the middle, in the corner that they can just slip through. Especially Penny, you gotta place it perfectly. Now Cocoon and Body Hunter. Body Hunter's gonna use bindings. Penguin Throne not gonna be enough to save you there, mate. And now Nicky and Jampy, they're gonna be alone. But Slevins, that's so you gotta be careful. And yeah, just Jazz trying to look for the kill. Not really gonna happen. They're just gonna be pushing. And, I mean, that's good enough. At the moment, they're pushing that tower. Pulse hitting Nicky as well on the back. Didn't see that one coming. If he had charges, he could just bounce, but he's not going to have charges. So he's just going to back up.
Oh, the Pulse almost being
close. That was very close. Jappy needs to be careful. 1 bar of HP. That was very scary. But not going to result in anything, unfortunately.
Well, that's a totem on the bounce. Oh, the Genji almost being stuck there, just about getting away. The totem not quite aligned properly. Genji's hitbox is also very, very small. So he has to align that pretty much frame perfectly. The Penny very low there. I thought the tick damage on the anchor was going to be enough, but the anchor died before it really did enough damage. And of course, Penny having access to Snack Badge, just used the Pulse and healed back up. One thing you mentioned during this draft is how the damage from the Nor and the Penny is enough to take out the Scoop, and we've been seeing that happen. The Scoop now 2 deaths in, which is, 2 more than you see scoops have deaths for most games, so it's kind of interesting to see.
Yeah,
there's still enough damage for the red team to get kills.
Yeah, I feel like the amp of Penny kind of helps a lot, even though for Penguin Throne is not enough, as Penguin Throne is 33%, and the amp from the base amp from Penny's Pulse is 10%. So
pretty big fight happening
helps.
here. Blessing and pot, binding is happening. Here goes the fight. The Scoop is going to be able to get the Gnaw, but another Scoop you'd assume is going to die to the Pulse there. Yeah, the Penny's going to get the kill with the Pounce, and now it looks like the blue team are in a slightly more favourable position, although the health is about even. The zoning AA from Nikki is just too kind of difficult for the red team to push. But Nikki's going to teleport back, and that means the red team is going to have a pretty free push in the top lane.
Oh yeah, it's very important boss taking off that tower. They really need that open area, especially around Aguilon, where the top tower especially is very backed off. You don't really need that space. And the bottom tower, you don't need that too. As long as you take the first towers, I feel that for Penny, you have a lot of space to play around. It's basically a playground, you know? You can just go around, pulse, bounce, just run around, juke, and then you get charges, cooldowns, and then you can do that again. And it's very hard to cut him off alone. Just Hank, very well done, needs to be the priority here. You really need to focus around Swiggins, I feel, especially for Penny, because Penny can just bounce out. And they really need to avoid that at all costs. One item that I feel like is very important and almost saved Gnaw in the previous fight is Cat Pillar. Cat Pillar, like when the Genji was very strong, like with the Moon Nectar, but now Jappy getting caught alone, you don't want to do that. Penny can just go from behind and just knock you into the enemy, and that's exactly what happened. They're gonna have some free push here, and there we go. The healing on Monarch Blessing. But never mind, Nikki's gonna go down. Every time I try to talk about the Cat Pillar, they just interrupt me, man. Let me point something out, please. Okay, so they're gonna be pushing. All right, it's hard, man. Okay, Cat Pillar. I want to ask, do you feel like it's worth? Do you feel like it's strong, underrated? Because I kind of feel it's underrated because people don't get it as often, but it's quite good. How do you feel about the item?
It's a very cost-effective heal, and you know, for it to be AOE, it makes the Genji really able to kind of reinitiate. Although one slight issue I have with it is when it kind of has to be popped, it has to be popped after the burst, and a lot of times you want the shield to hit the burst. The follow-up damage, you know, the heal isn't going to help that much with. I mean, it kind of helps you have that momentum to chase forward, but I feel like just having the shield and popping that before going in, going for the hidden leaves instead might be a bit better for the red team in this instance.
Yeah, that's true. They probably have other forms of sustain, like Moon Nectar, right? Yeah. I guess
mean, we're also seeing Lifesteal and Snack Badge on the Gnaw and the Penny respectively, so I don't think it's necessary to go for the heal. I mean, it's still a good item. There's nothing wrong with it. I just feel like Hidden Leaves might have been a bit more optimal.
Yeah, that's true. I kind of agree with you, but there we go. Hammer coming in. The Cat Pillar just coming in at the right time. But it's not enough. Nikki just flanking in through the jump pad. Gonna take a kill onto Jelly. That was 1 tick of HP. Nikki literally just very dangerous just to fire around there, but no trying to do something. But the good hammer by Body Hunter PT and dodging the pounce here, binding. Oh, the Henka, if that was a hit, that could have been a kill. And there we go, Body Hunter missing the hammer there on the droids. I had to point that out. Anyway, Swiggins kind of overextending, 1v1 versus Penny. Penny's kind of low, but just baiting. That was the best bait I've seen in this match. Jappy just went in, ran out. Body Hunter Nikki went up the jump pad. Cuckoo, there we go. Peekaboo, as you would say. Cuckoo is in Portuguese, my bad. So there we go, that's going to be a tower. Penny got pretty baited, pretty hard. That was pretty good to watch.
Okay, interesting damage on the interesting build again on the Genji. We're looking at Bronco use being picked up, which means no hidden leaves at all. There's going to be no 35% shield, but instead it is going to reduce 20 damage off every single item, or every single source of damage. I mean, there's a reasonable amount of tick damage coming in. You've got the scroll. Wow, I think that's a pretty big lag spike there. I just saw like all the droids move forward.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, the scoop just wait. Someone disconnected. The Genji is disconnected and been replaced by a scoop bot.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully the Genji will be back soon. Yep, there comes the Genji back. Crisis averted. But yeah, the Genji's build going for Bronco Yeast instead of say Hidden Leaves. The damage ticks. There has to be a lot of them, and it has to be I'm not really sure that it's the right build. It neutralizes a lot of damage from the scoop. It neutralizes the Swiggin's tick damage, which he's building into, and I guess it neutralizes a bit of the Sunball's damage. But most of the damage is going to come from the Anchor, the Hammer, and the Saw Blade. And I just feel like Hidden Leaves, because Hidden Leaves also works on the tick damage, it just does it slightly less. So I'm questioning the validity of this Genji build.
Yeah, I guess he's trying to go for a type of counter. I guess that would be the only type of tactic that would make sense, like trying to go for counter. For example, they initiate and then they pop up shield, boom, they have some extra HP, and the residual damage from the blue team, it's not going to matter too much, and they can chase, especially for Penny. I guess that's the strategy behind the build, but I guess they are probably not thinking about the actual burst damage that all these nods can inflict. And if you're dead, the Monarch Blessing is not really going to help if you don't even put it, you know? So I guess it's just like...
Oh, big fight happening here. The Anchor's going to go. There goes the Blessing. Scoop now being caught out a little bit. Going to pop Bindings to get away. Nikki now taking that HP top, leaving the Scoop to get the creeps. And now Nikki maybe in a bad position. The Nord's going to come in. That's a lot of damage just to the Nord. The Nord's just about going to get away before the ticks hit him. And now the red team are going to go in. They're going to get the Scoop. And now Nikki looking for something with those AAs. Not really enough to chase down. Something to know about Screes. You do not want to fight Scree when you're next to anyone really. Oh, the Genji going to disconnect again. That's somewhat unfortunate. Hopefully the Genji will be back relatively soon. Meanwhile, the red team, I mean the Genji was dead anyway, so it's not going to make the hugest of differences. The red team going to push up and claim as much ground as they can, but they are going to be attacking against the Scree and the Swiggins, which is basically impossible. I mean, the Swiggins just hooks you and the Scree just AAs you and you're pretty much dead already, so I don't foresee any push happening.
Without the blessing, really, that... If you get caught in the anchor and the anchor drop, if you're stuck there for a long time, the residual damage is just going to take you, even if the burst misses, you know? That's how dangerous it is, especially if you're with your teammates. The sunballs are going to take effect. There we go.
Oh,
great hammer coming in, hitting both of them. Nikki's going to go down for Jazz 1, 2, 3, C. Scoop getting poked. He needs to run. He's hitting the jumps. He's kind of juking, but he's in a really bad spot. He really needs to get those hammers. Good hammer there, but never mind. It's not going to matter. The Binding's kind of saving him, but the pulse coming in at the perfect timing before he jumps onto the jump pad. Great play by Jans 1, 2, 3. He pretty much killed that Scoop, and now red team's going to be pushing once again. I guess
maybe killing the Penny here. The Penny's low. The anchor drop not going to be able to get the kill. About that last fight was the blue team initiating, fully committing to a fight for pretty much the first time in this game. And whereas, in the previous fights they've won, they've been doing a counter initiation. I feel like that's how they want to keep playing this. Let the red team extend into them and then chase them down with the Scree. This time they took a fight deep into the red team territory and they got punished for it.
Yeah. Red team kind of played that correctly. They even though they hit all the skills, blue team, but never mind, there's a fight going on in the blue jungle. It's a kill for someone. It's hard to see. Jappy is going to live, but Jazz is really low. Scree can't chase. He's got full HP. And there we go. Oh, he's not going to commit. I want to see Scree chase with that slow. Come on. Great hammer hitting all the 3 opponents now. He's going to heal back a bit. And Jazz is going to hit the pulse, but the sunballs is just going to be too much. Now Jelly's in a bad position. The hammer snare is going to take him down pretty much and help the Scree's AA to do his work. And now Slevens, all alone. He needs to get out and put some weeds behind the tower so he can just... Yeah, there we go. If he bites something, he can just freely run. That's probably the strategy it took, and it worked out. He's behind tower now. Safe. And even though blue team has the advantage, Gnaw 1v1ing Scoop gets him. Not even one bar of HP done to Gnaw. That was... Wow, did not see that coming.
Yeah, that was a very, very clean kill. That was just Body Hunter overextending a bit too hard. I mean, I guess the blue team could have been there to support him a bit better, but it's hard to imagine them wanting to commit to that when bottom lane needed to be cleared. I think that was just a mistake of positioning from Body Hunter.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so something that I see here, last 2 fights happened in the... no, last 2. Oh, there's a go. A totem missed. Penny missing the bounce. That could have been a kill into Nikki.
Oh, here comes the Scoop. There's the Bindings being used. Hammer for the follow-up. He's not used it yet. There's the hammer going to land on the droids. In comes the anchor initiate, and now the sunballs chase. There it comes. That's going to be a double kill for Nikki, and now the AAs. It's going to be a triple kill for Nikki and a wipeout. That might just
Dear
be
God.
game. as the blue team just piles in on that bottom tower. I think this is it. It should be.
It should be 10 seconds for them to come back to shop. I mean, that tower needs to be going down. If it's not game, at least they need to take half of the day's damage. They're still dropping.
I think they're just going to go for the two towers, perhaps. I mean, they have the totem ready for when the enemy team's ready to launch in. If they place that totem down with enough time, there's the totem. That's going to block. Well, it's not going to block the pulse, obviously, but it's going to block any further follow-up. And it's just one tower.
Something that I'd like to note to mention is sometimes when you gain to enemy's base, when you wipe, you get the last tower. You should always, if it's not too risky, you should always try to go for the enemy base, because if you manage to kill the wave of droids that's stacked in 4, which you probably can because they have a lot of AoE damage, such as Scoop Swiggins with the Anka, they can just clear that wave, and that's going to be easy push for the blue team if they manage to do that. They didn't want to risk it, but just a kind of a note: if you're playing, you'll improve, I guess. Just take in consideration the wave droids. Take a look at the mini map. Take a look at your droids if they're leaving base. If they are, just overextend a bit. It wouldn't hurt to just clear those droids and get out.
Something else to consider is, unless it was a really clean triple kill, the enemy team's going to be respawning in a staggered way, so you can potentially use that to your advantage and gank them. Here's a big fight, though. It looks to be going in favor of the red team. The Blessing going to be taking a lot of the damage there. And now the blue team, they're kind of retreating with their tails between their heads between their legs, and they're just trying to work out what to do.
No kills in that fight. That was pretty close. Jappy managed to take that creep last second. And wow, the pulse is dealing a lot of damage. What a great pounce onto Jappy. He needs to run. The hammer just snaring all the 3 enemies, but the pulse through the wall is gonna kill him. No chance there. The creep is not gonna save you again. There we go. Penny's doing a really good job at brawling. He's getting a lot of kills, a lot of assists probably. I can't see that at the moment, but 6 kills, 3 deaths. He's just going ham. He's just overextending a bit, just going really aggressive into it. Just doing a fine job, at least. I guess we can consider that.
Yeah, the red team are doing decent. Sorry, not the red team. The blue team are doing a decent job of defending at the moment. They're a player down, and they're still defending, doing some damage. Just Scrie is really, really great for defending. You just stay at a reasonably safe distance, and then you throw in 3 or 4 A's, and all of a sudden their team is half. So that's kind of nice. We're also looking at a large Soul Blade with the extra damage and the double slow. So that's going to be a very, very nice CC and teamfight ability. You let the Scree bait people in, and then you throw the Soul Blade down, slow them a lot, let the enemy team re-engage, and then you retract it for a lot of burst, a lot of CC, and a lot of damage as well coming from the AA. So I think this Scree is really, really pivotal to the enemy team, to the blue team's victory. Large threat happening here. There's the bindings, and the Anchor going to go out. The Nor's going to go down, and now it is just the Genji and the Penny defending. I'm not convinced they can do this. I think the blue team can just push in and win at this point.
Yeah,
especially if the Penny goes down. The Penny using Pulse now, that means kind of free reign to go in. Both abilities are going to miss from these Swiggins. Well, no, sort of one ability going to miss from the Swiggins, one from the Scoop. But no kills going to really happen. I still feel like the blue team can just push in. It looks like they're doing that now, or are they going to opt for top lane? I think they're going to opt for top lane. Here comes the totem. Getting a bit of push into that top lane. The Pulse is going to clear out totem. And now the Nor's back. So that was a good job from the red team, kind of wasting the time with the blue team, making sure they can't really engage properly. And just allowing them to have that time to regroup, and now being ready for the next fight. Oh, Blessing being popped. That could be a mistake, actually. It was a very, very early Blessing. And now the blue team are looking to go in. They know the Blessing is used. They have an invis Swiggins moving in.
Oh, God.
There's the hook being used. It's a whiff. And now Penny coming in with the Pulse. It's going to hit the Scoop, but no one else. Now Penny being tethered. She's going to clear out that. The Scree being very low. Being chased out by the Null. There's the bindings being popped. The Scree's just about going to get away. The Swiggins is also running, but the Swiggins is a full HP. He really needs to get back in there, help his team out. And it looks like the blue team were able to successfully get away there. That was looking pretty dicey at some points.
Oh yeah, that was really close. If that hook actually hit, I mean, that could have been dangerous. They had no Blessing, and the Blessing is the key for most of these fights. And that, I feel like one thing that we haven't really talked about.
The Null being initiated on here. He's tethered, he's looking to get away. He's taking a lot of damage, but he is going to get past now that the totem has gone down. Now he's Scree being chased. Here comes the Soul Balls, hitting all 3 players. Now only 2. He's going to keep chasing. He's going for the Scree, but now the Scree getting away. The Soul Retract is going to be enough to kill a Penny, and now the blue team should really push into the base this time. They have an advantage. The enemy's split. The Nor is invis, but the Nor is half HP. Really can't do much. He'll probably spit and then get their health. at base, not necessarily the one at the side. There is a health in the side jungle there. And now the blue team, they're getting some base damage in. It's not much. This Genji is able to defend reasonably well. There comes the Saw Blade, followed by the Totem and the Bindings. Everything used on the blue team now. The red team could go in if they get a nice initiate, but the A's from the Scurry is just too much for the North to go in. The North's going to have to back off. And now again, we're just looking at this Genji desperately trying to defend this core.
Yeah, I'm surprised how Slevens didn't die there. That was really close, but their tower is still up. But that base is half HP at the moment. That is something to look out for. I mean, I guess. Okay, so the real question is here, right? If the blue team managed to get like a double kill, that's it. That's game, right? But even a kill can result in GG. But for the red team, right? Do you think that? Oh, never mind. Scoop getting initiated on. Penny is just gonna go after the chase. After the chase, that was lovely. Okay, Nicky's here, overextended a bit, but he's gonna. Oh no, he's body blocking him. No, with the wheeling placement damage, kills Nicky in 2 seconds, but he's gonna have to go back.
To the Penny, blessing enough to get the Penny out. But yeah, that was a good disengage.
I was asking, you feel like what if red team would have to grab onto the towers? You feel like a double kill would be enough, like get Scree and probably Swiggins? You feel a double kill should do it, right? What do you think? Like to gain space.
Win?
For the red team.
If the Scree is still alive, no. If the Scree dies, then maybe. As long as the Scree is alive, it's going to be very, very difficult for the red team to push up, because the Scree can just plop a totem down, AA them, and then, 3 seconds later the entire team is dead. So it's going to be very, very hard for the red team to pick up. This Scree is the crucial target they need to find kills on, and we saw a tower go down very, very quickly, and they killed the Scree. That was why it went down. The Swiggins and the Scoop couldn't do anything. They're really, really bad at defending, especially against a comp like this that has so much sustain and burst negation.
Yeah, that's true. But I guess red team is kind of doing a good job of that. They're focusing on Nicky here. They killed Nicky twice recently. Then I can't remember. Last kill was actually on Nicky. So if they manage to do that once more, and
blessing being popped, blue team still in a decent position. This could be a fight that ends it. There's the bindings. Here comes the anchor. The anchor's going to land on the Penny. The pulse going to land, hit 2 people. The Scree going to try and get some AAs in, but it's not really enough. And the disengage is going to come out from both teams, really. The red team keeping up the pressure in the enemy jungle, with droids pushing up as well. So that went in favor of the red team, but that could have been a very decisive fight had a couple of abilities swung the other way.
Yeah. I feel like
here comes the Nor. The Nor's taking a lot of damage here. There's a Saw. It's going to be a lot of damage, but it's not enough to get the kill. The Nor's going to survive using that AA sustain. And now the Scoop getting very low. The Scoop is going to go down, but of course the Screw still being alive means it's going to be hard for the red team to push up. They do have a Nor pushing in now, trying to make sure they get a split push going. What they really need to do is have the North split push, or maybe they're all just going to go base. Here comes the anchor onto the North. They're not taking a lot of damage, but the blessing is going to be more than enough to keep him healed up. And now the red team's still pushing into this base, actually getting some base damage in, but there's the Scree AA just denying any of that shenanigans. Scree going to be looking, actually, he's going in for the Saw. It's going to land on the Nor. The Nor is also going to get away. And now we're looking at a full teleport disengage from the red team. Scree able to defend so well there.
Yeah, and the chase going into doing the little trick, using the jump pad to go into the hidden area of the jungle really fast, managed to almost get a double kill. If he actually had more HP and the Nor didn't hit the spit, he could actually chase with the slow and get a double kill, which would be pretty much probably a game. Now Penny, wow, doing 200 damage per AA, that is very high, not gonna lie. But okay, so
the Nor in trouble here is going to be anchored completely isolated now. That's going to be the Nor bursted down, and I think that could end up being it. The Penny is invis right now, but it has been spotted by the Scree. The Scree now chasing with AAs. Pounce going to be used, and now the blue team are going to push in. They have left their core exposed. There are droids there doing some damage, but it looks like they're going to sort themselves out. You just got to hope for the red team's sake, or for the blue team's sake, sorry, that the droids don't jump over. They don't, and now the blue team is in the red team base, and I think this is going to be it. If this Penny dies. Oh, the Penny was able to live there. The binding's been enough to keep him alive, but this damage coming out from the Scree, it's a lot of damage onto the core, but they are going to back off now, it looks like. Just playing it safe. That base is now 4 bars. It is in backdoor territory, which both teams need to be aware of. The blue team less, not quite as much. There's no major tower DPS in either team, really. Other than, I guess, the Penny now, with those 200 damage AAs that do full damage to structures.
Oh, yeah. That really needs to be something to keep an eye out for. And I mean, look at the builds. I mean, they're reaching late game to the point where they're probably not gonna be able to buy anything. And this is gonna end very soon. We're reaching the 30-second mark, 32-minute second mark here. So I mean, it's a matter of time until a fight happens and someone goes down. It's a matter of initiating at the right time. This last fight will result in the game, I would say.
Definitely. I think we're looking at the AoE damage, the prefab cocoons on the Genji there. That's a nice bit of teamfight damage. You just cocoon someone who's there and then you get some extra residual damage on the Scree, which is, as we said, the target they really want to gun for. Killing these Swiggins and the Scoop really doesn't do that much as long as the Scree lives. Oh, a large amount of AHAs. Their Blessing has been used now. Binding's going to hit the Nor. Here's a huge fight here. The Penny taking a lot of damage. The Penny is now going to go down, and I think this might just be it. I've said that like 3-4 times now, but I think this really might just be it. The Scree taking a lot of damage from the Nor, but the Scoop was there for the support, and now the Genji being chased down by the Blessing. It's going to do a lot of damage. Cocoon's there, but it doesn't matter. The Genji's not going to get back in time. The Scree is going to end this game right here, right now, and the game is going to go in favor of the blue team. Well, and that's GG. So, it's gonna, like, what went wrong for the red team there?
They had a good chance. They had base exposure, a double kill, or even just killing the Scree on a good pickoff, especially with Penny. Maybe an invis pickoff, just bouncing into Nor and Nor. We saw how Nor can even 1v1 the Scoop, so 1v1ing the Scree wouldn't be hard. So a pounce into Nor, Mono Blessing, easy kill. And if they take out Scree, they go to base, they win. I feel like they messed up in this last fight. They kind of went chasing for someone. They used Cocoon, they used Bounce against the wall. They missed 3 abilities, or 2 abilities. Then Scree can just chase you. You gotta realize that. If you overextend and you miss, you're screwed up. You screwed up, man. That's exactly what happened. They chased the slow, then they got a kill on the bottom lane. They went up chasing. The red team didn't really back off at that point. They were just trying to juke and buy as much time as they could, but the mistake was already done. They lost the game because of those 2 missed abilities. Penny missing the pounce and Genji using Cocoon. Blue team saw the opportunity, went in, chase, kill, and that's game for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, definitely. I want to reiterate how effective the Scree was this game. The Scree just, for the most case, as long as the Scree lived through the fights, and it was the job of the Scoop and the Swiggins to really tank that. If the Scree lived, they were golden in those fights. They just kept on going with that AA. Scree staying a nice safe distance away, and then doing so much damage with that AA. It was ridiculous to watch. And then, of course, they had really good push, really good defense. I feel like the blue team's comp was just a more well-rounded and had a bit more of a kind of plan to the way they were engaging with the fights. Whereas if we look at the red team, it's a solid comp. You've got some very powerful notes on each end, but it just kind of fell apart when it came down to the way the fights happened in the late game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, apart from that, it was a great game. 33 minutes, 19 seconds, almost reaching level 20. I mean, just looking at some of the kills right here, we're seeing there's just so much brawling happening. There was so much damage in the red team, but as long as that Scree was alive, it was just the fight went in favor of the blue team almost every time. And it was a very even game throughout the most of it. Kills even throughout almost the entire of the match. But we're seeing there Soul Blade happening. Just AA chase down, double kill for Nikki. It's just some really nice plays, and of course we had the Nor kills, the Nor like 1v1s when that happened. That was great to watch as well. But they just didn't happen enough to really secure the win for the red team. Exactly, just a little bit. We see we saw the triple kill as well from Nikki. That really helped a lot in terms of even getting the momentum back to the blue team. I mean, it was just a good game, as you said, very balanced. But in the end, those tiny mistakes, they really matter a lot, and those key points, they granted the game for the blue team. I mean, that was a great game to watch, nonetheless. I mean, apart from that, GG, well played for both teams.
Yep,
for me,
yeah, we'll just let the kill cam reel finish up, and then we will talk about some stuff for the end of the stream.
Oh yes.
But yeah, we're seeing a lot of kills just in general. It was a great game to watch, and we saw a large variety of kills happening.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it did kind of snowball right at the very end, but that was only it was really only after the result, as Azzy said, that very last kill, that very last fight, that initiate on
It wasn't that much of like the snowball that you would call like the traditional snowball. Red team had a chance until that very last fight, so they didn't lose the game like, oh yeah, they got fed, blah blah blah. No, that didn't happen, and that's why this game was very balanced.
Anyway, the kill cam reel has now wrapped up, if I am correct. So we are now going to move on to the end of this stream. But before you go, what do I need to say? Aha! So, Awesomenauts Rumble team, we've been working on a lot of cool stuff. This is the result of one of them. However, you guys should stay tuned to all the social media that we mentioned earlier, because on the 15th of March, there'll be a big announcement, and a hint for that announcement will be seen on the stream now, if I am not mistaken. So, Skenner, I mean, what do you think it is? It could be anything. Absolutely anything.
It's a shadow kind of thing, right? I mean, yeah, it could be anything. Now it's just a matter of like speculation, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of looks like an insect, maybe.
Is that a cloud?
A cloud, perhaps? Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a cloud.
Anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure if there's anything else I need to add, or if there is, I have forgotten it. So Pillar will tell me right now if there is. Okay, I'm good.
We have the wrap.
Yeah. Well, so, Scanner, do you want to take it away?
Oh yeah, sure. Thanks. Okay, so yeah, guys, that is pretty much it for tonight's show. Don't forget, every week we do this, the Scrim Show. Just remember, send in your replays, we will filter them, and the best that we pick are going to be shown next week. Hopefully same time, same weekday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. So it's 12 p.m. EST, starting at, what time did it start UK? It was 5 p.m.
5 p.m.
5 p.m. GMT. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yep, use all your translations of time zones to work out when it is for you. And until then, this has been the Awesomenauts Rumble Scrim Show, and we will see you next time.
Have a good one, fellas.